Welcome to the Verity Master Challenge Guide. This is for varied geometry, and I'm going to give you a very quick 30-second explanation using paint. We will go into more detail about how to get here and how to do dissection and how to actually get to this point to get out of your room in the future point here. But if you want the quick 30-second explanation, if this is your callout being TSC, figure out what room you are in. And when you get your key, let's just say, for example, that you are triangle, your key is S and C. You are going to take whichever one of these is not the shape that you need to get out of your perfect shape, being one of these two callouts. Let's just say that your perfect shape is 2 squares. You are going to take your circle and give it to the person that needs both circles. 30-second explanation, boom, one and done. Hope you figure it out. All right. Now we are actually going to go into the full explanation using paint. I will then go through a gameplay explanation so you can see it happening in real time. There's a lot of different learners out there. And we will go through the dissection explanation, one at a time. Paint is the easiest explanation because I can talk to you as I am explaining things, while the gameplay loop, you have to go based on what's happening in the gameplay. So, in this example, we are going to use the callouts of TSC. This guide expects that you understand how to move shapes using the quote-unquote LFG strat. You understand how to move shapes around your room. You understand why you are moving those shapes. In Master Mode, you should not be learning the encounter for the first time. It is called Master Mode, so take that with a grain of salt. So, moving in, we have TSC. In order to get the perfect shape, you have to get 2 of one shape. In order to get this, you need to get your original key, then send off one of those shapes to another side and pick up your perfect shape to leave the room. So a lot of times you will see groups make perfect shape callouts being SSCCTT, which I will write down here. And how you get here is you are just moving whatever the original callout is, move all of the shapes one to the left or one to the right. Either callout is perfectly fine as long as the teams are in the same wheelhouse. So this can be the answer to how you get out, because this is important for the dissection person on the outside to know. What I like to do is break this as well into locations. So if I was to separate it this way, I know that the triangle is on the left, the square is in the middle, the circle is on the right. When you have a lot of stuff going on all at once, a lot of people just like to remember what room they're in and not what the location is. And knowing the location helps a lot so that you don't have to call out something like send Gambits a square. Okay, 1, the Guardians are not labeled, so we don't know which one Gambits is, especially if you don't know my fashion. And 2, you don't know what room Gambits is in. So how do you send Gambits a square if you don't know where I am? So the better call out to do would be something like, I need to send left a square. Now you know where you're going with it. So know the location, not the name. Big thing. As long as you guys agree on whichever one you're doing, personally we like to have the dissection person decide what the bottom thing here is going to be. You're perfectly fine. So for this example, we are going to pretend that you are in the triangle room, and we are going to use this second bar solution down here. So the first step is to do what you normally do. Figure out how to send your shapes to other people. If you're in the triangle room and you have 2 triangles, send off your triangle, 1 to square and 1 to circle. If you have a triangle and a square, send the square to the square room. Make sure you get your thing, then send out things. You want to get to the point where you have your original key, like you would normally get out of the room, and then we will move to the next step. So in this scenario, the triangle room will have a square and a circle in order to quote-unquote leave, but they're not actually leaving the room yet. The square person would have a circle and a triangle, and the circle person would have a triangle and a square. You want the top row here to look like the second row. So during the ghost phase, personally, I like to look at what side I am on and what I need to have in my room. So knowing that I'm on the left, I need to keep this square, and I need to take the circle and send the circle to the team that needs the circle, which is in the middle. So my whole goal after ghosts, assuming we're at this section, is to kill a knight, pick up a circle, and wait until the other two rooms are ready to send their third shape off. Then we will all send our third shape, pick up the perfect shapes, and leave the room, assuming that dissection is done. If you do not wait to send these shapes, sometimes you'll run into an error where one room will have 3 shapes, maybe 4 shapes, and then they are running around killing an unstoppable and not able to find the correct shape to send to you, and you end up being a wipe. Don't get to this stage. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Send the third shape off, pick them up, leave the room, easy peasy. Take your time, ask questions, get clear comms. Don't screw with it. So, for dissection, this is the best way I can really go about it. I got this image off of Google Images, so forgive me. Credit to the person who made it. I'm sorry for taking it. I really needed to show what each of the shapes look like. So for dissection, in order to make the perfect shape, you really need to understand what goes into each shape and how you are switching it, because it takes another mindset to be able to immediately go from, I need to go and make these bottom shapes, to make the perfect shape. So what I usually like to do is I like to go and focus on one shape first. If you can make that specific one first, the other two will just fall into place or need one extra swap. So in my original example, we had triangle, square, circle as the callouts, which I'll just throw over here real quick, if my brush actually works. There we go. So we had triangle, square, circle, and the bottom callout was square, square, circle, circle, triangle, triangle. So what you are trying to make is the cube on the left, the sphere in the middle, and the triangle on the right. Usually I like to default to a triangle first because the triangle knight spawns in the middle and he's just one of the easier ones to kill. But the first thing you want to do is look at the shapes that you have and try to determine, is there a prism on the right? Yes, it already has a triangle in it. So I just need to get the other triangle. So what I'll do is I'll take a triangle and put it on whichever the other two shapes are that is not on the right-hand side, and then go get whatever the other one is for the right-hand side, which would be a square in this instance, and that would switch the triangle and the square. So now I'm going to have a pyramid on the right, and I'll have 2 cylinders. Then you just need to figure out, okay, which one needs the square and which one needs the circle. You swap them, and you're done, and it only takes a little while. Now, sometimes you're going to have the 6 swapper, which ends up being, all of the double shapes just in the wrong place. The same thought process goes into it. Figure out which one you need to swap first, then swap another one, and focus one thing at a time. The issue that comes into play sometimes is that you're waiting for unstops to spawn, and this is where the other players outside come in handy. Usually, we actually have 2 people dissecting at a time because things get a little bit confusing, but you have a default dissector. So pick one player to dissect, but have that person also tell other players to pick up shapes and where to put them. If you want the unstoppables to spawn faster, all you need to do is pick up the shape, the unstoppable spawn, and then you can kill knights again. You still can't send 2 shapes at any given time, so if you have somebody just picking up shapes to hold them solely so that you can get the unstops to spawn again, tell them to pick up another shape and just put it somewhere. so that it fizzles out and you can keep on picking up shapes that you need. All but the final swap, you should be able to use all 3 shapes in your swapping. The final swap sometimes is just 2 of them, so then you'll have one knight sitting around. But try to focus on making one shape first. Look at your callouts. Do you have square, square, circle, circle, triangle, triangle? I need to have 2 squares on the left. I need 2 circles in the middle. I need 2 triangles on the right. If you have one of those shapes that are already there, keep it there, make the other one, then focus on the other 2. Trying to do all 3 at once is very overwhelming, and you'll make your life easier if you're able to notice that when you look at a prism, you know it has a triangle, which you can see right here, which I'm doing with white paint for some reason. You can see the triangle right here, and it has a square, which you can see right here. Just look at them and try to determine what the shapes are. If you're a little confused as to where to go, just count left to the right. So moving into the gameplay of second phase, this is me going into the room and showing you how to move your shapes around. The first thing that I'm going to do is check what side I'm in, as well as get the call out. We got CTS. I know I'm in the middle, so I need to get triangles and send the triangles out. So we're going to do things like normal. Take the square, send it to the square side, wait till I have triangles, and then wait for the call out. This is all just normal dissection using the LFG strat. What are you doing? TTSSCC?
TTSSCC.
Okay. Ninka, when... Yeah. Triangle's good, we can distribute.
Okay. One stops. I just need a circle when I'm done outside.
Witness notices, I'm waiting on my last shape.
Yeah,
oh, I picked up the wrong one. That's fine. When the witness notices you, there is currently a bug where if you send the shape at the same time as the witness noticing you, there's a chance that one of the rooms will bug out and you will just not have any knights or ogres spawn. So in order to circumvent this, I usually tell people that they should go to the middle of the room and hide behind a pillar. This will keep you from the unstop instantly nuking you when you return from the realm, and puts you in a better position so that you are not going to instantly dunk something and possibly bug it out. If you are holding a shape, I do like to go to the side of the room where I need to dunk next. That way I just don't forget, and it's kind of a nice little mental note. Send a triangle to right, right?
Careful.
No, it's this is Ninga, this is for the initial splitting. Okay. So right side needs a circle and a triangle right now.
Triangle.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I have my shape.
Yeah, so hold on.
Yep, I know. Just calling it out. So, left side does not need anything.
Right side.
Yeah, we're good to send our third one. I need to figure out. So here I picked up the wrong shape and I ended up having to fizzle one out in order to send a thing. But what I am doing during the ghost phase is I am checking what side I am on. I know I'm in the middle and I need to end with 2 squares. So my whole thing when I come back, knowing I have my key and everybody else is ready, is I am going to know that I need to keep a square. So I need to go and find whatever the other shape is in my room and figure out where to send that. If I have a circle, it needs to go to the right. If I have a triangle, it needs to go to the left. And I wait for all the rooms to be ready before sending this. Once I send them out, I can just pick up my square, kill my other unstop, kill my other knight, pick up the shape, and leave the room.
I can get out of here. Let's go.
I gotta find my knight that's playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Angry's out. Gambit's out. Yep, 30 seconds.
We are now going to move into the dissection for the second phase. This is from the outside perspective. The big thing for this is to focus on making one singular shape in the correct location before worrying about the other 2. The other 2 will just fall into place if you focus on one. We like to have 2 people dissect. You have a main dissector, and then you have that person telling the other person where to send shapes. Make sure you're confirming between the 2. It's a good idea to have both people know how to dissect, so that if there's an error somewhere, you can kind of fix how things work. In this scenario, we ended up having the final result be circle, circle, square, square, triangle, triangle, but we started with 2 shapes in each spot, so it ended up being a big swap. So in order to just start the swap, you just pick one and start putting shapes into it, because you end up requiring to put a triangle on the left, a circle in the middle, and a square on the right in order to start. And once you start moving some stuff around, you can start focusing on one thing. So in this scenario, we decided to put 1 into each thing and just kind of move some stuff around. And then we focus the left side. We are trying to make a sphere on the left side first.
Steal, my friend.
I sent a circle left and I sent one right.
I still have square.
Honestly, we should just put a...
I got bunny.
Put a square on the right and then switch it with a triangle.
Bunny is 1.
I have,
Angry 6.
Johnny's 4.
Did you switch anything?
I'm about to dunk the square right now. I was
okay.
helping with you guys real quick. We're dunked.
Okay.
Who needs a square, middle or left?
In this scenario, because we were focused on the left side and we needed to switch it with a triangle, I knew that we needed to get a triangle on the right, and there was a triangle in the middle and on the left, so it didn't matter which one I put the triangle in, because I was just trying to get the triangle over to the right-hand side. Right there, you saw me put a circle in the middle, and we were going to go and switch the left-hand one, as you can see in this angle. The sphere is done, and now all we need to do is switch 2 more on the outside. Put a triangle in the middle, because that will end up switching over to the right-hand side. Take a square, put it on the right side. Now we have the final scenario of circle, circle, square, square, triangle, triangle. The big thing with dissection is you need to know how you're switching something. You have to kind of think 1 step ahead. I need to get a triangle on the right side, so where is a triangle in the room that I can go and put a triangle into to get it over to the right side? Just focus on one thing at a time and try to dissect that way. If this is still a little confusing to you, I try to do explanations more on my Twitch. You can come over and see me at Gambit's Casino on Twitch. I will be doing Master Challenge helps for this for the foreseeable future, and hopefully I will see you over there. Thank you for watching.